Have you ever looked at an old penny and wondered, what if this tiny coin in my hand could change my life forever? What if the same coin that slipped through millions of pockets decades ago is now worth more than a luxury house or even a lifetime of savings? Today, I'm about to take you deep inside the hidden world of American treasures, the secret vault of the top 10 ultra rare and most valuable Lincoln wheat cents that are shaking today's coin market to its core. These aren't ordinary pennies, they're legendary pieces of history, minted in fire, surviving through wars, decades, and generations, and now they're exploding in value like never before. Some of these coins were struck with mysterious errors that the mint tried to hide. Some disappeared for years, only to resurface in the hands of lucky collectors who turned into instant millionaires. And others, well, you will have to see to believe. Every second you stay with me today brings you closer to discovering a coin that could be sitting right in your pocket worth a fortune beyond imagination. So don't blink because we're just getting started. Welcome to U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where history turns into treasure, and every coin tells a story that could rewrite your destiny. Coin number 1, the 1955 S. Lincoln wheat cent, the silent treasure of San Francisco. Let's begin our countdown with a coin that whispers history through every scratch and shimmer, the 1955 S. Lincoln wheat cent. From the city of fog and gold rush legends, San Francisco, this little piece of copper carries not just the face of Lincoln, but the pulse of a nation rebuilding its dreams. Imagine holding a coin minted 70 years ago, when the world was changing faster than ever, cars roaring down brand new highways, television flickering for the first time in living rooms, and America stepping into a new era of power and pride. Among those moments, the San Francisco Mint released the 1955 S, the final wheat cent ever to carry the proud S before the mint switched to a new design. That alone makes it an icon, a farewell to an age of craftsmanship and legacy. This coin was born in a time when machines weren't perfect. Each strike carried the touch of human oversight, a moment of imperfection that ironically made some pieces priceless. The 1955 S wheat cent, with its subtle striking variations, slightly off-center impressions, and rare pristine tones, became a collector's secret obsession. But here's where it gets fascinating. Many of these coins vanished quietly from circulation. Some were lost in drawers, buried in jars, or simply forgotten as the world moved on. Yet, the few survivors that resurfaced decades later now shine like lost artifacts of American history, proof that small things, even a single cent, can defy time. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish glow, a color that whispers authenticity. Over the years, oxidation brought out beautiful dark tones, from deep chestnut to rustic bronze, like an old story told by firelight. On the obverse, the beloved profile of Abraham Lincoln, worn yet proud, stands as a symbol of endurance. The reverse carries 2 wheat ears, a timeless tribute to American labor and harvest engraved like wings protecting the nation's heart. This particular 1955 S has something magnetic about it. The front side, smooth, aged, slightly rusted, speaks of its journey through hands that built America's golden age. Those gray-black marks, scattered like battle scars, are not flaws. They are the coin's fingerprints of history. The faint scratches glint like whispers from another century. And on the reverse, that soft gleam mixed with gentle wear shows that this coin was cherished, not forgotten. Collectors today call such pieces time capsules in copper, because every imperfection is a signature of survival proof that it has witnessed decades and refused to fade. Now, here's where the pulse quickens. The 1955 S wheat cent isn't just old, it's elite rare. This was the final S mint wheat cent ever struck, giving it a final edition prestige. Fewer of them were minted compared to their Philadelphia counterparts, and even fewer survived in fine condition. That scarcity, combined with the nostalgia of an era that is gone forever, makes collectors hungry for every surviving specimen. Every day, coin enthusiasts, investors, and even museums are quietly chasing these coins. Why? Because their market is rising like wildfire. Prices have surged in recent years, and the demand doesn't stop. Every new collector entering the scene dreams of finding one. It's a legend, a legacy, and a goldmine of value wrapped in copper. And here's the stunning truth, a 1955 S wheat cent, in the very condition we described, fine, smooth, slightly rustic, carrying that deep brown tone, is shaking the market with an estimated value of $200,000 today. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent worth $200,000? This isn't fantasy. This is the power of rarity meeting history. A coin like this is no longer just a collectible. It's a treasure bond. The market value is rising every single month, and the experts predict that the next wave of auctions could push it even higher. Don't take this as fiction. This is reality unfolding before your eyes. Think about it, something smaller than your thumb, lighter than a feather, and yet it carries the weight of a fortune. That's what makes coin collecting pure magic. If you ever come across a 1955 S. Lincoln cent, don't rush to clean it or polish it. That's where most people lose the magic. Keep it as it is, protect it in a case, and get it evaluated by a trusted grading service. Authentic patina, original tone, and even slight surface wear can multiply its value. Sometimes the untouched look tells a more powerful story than perfection itself. The 1955 S. Lincoln wheat cent isn't just an old penny. It's a time traveler. It's a messenger from the heart of post-war America, whispering stories of resilience, craftsmanship, and hidden wealth. Holding one feels like touching a chapter of living history, a chapter that is now paying dividends in pure gold. So the next time you see a Lincoln wheat cent, don't ignore it. Look closely, because one coin, one story, one moment could change everything. Stay tuned, because coming up next, we dive even deeper into the rarest Lincoln wheat cents ever known. Some of them defy belief. Some were mistakes turned miracles. And one is said to be the holy grail of American coinage. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where every day history breathes new life, and maybe, just maybe, your next discovery will make you the next legend. Next coin number 2, the 1953 D. Lincoln wheat cent, the forgotten jewel of Denver. It's amazing how sometimes the smallest, most ordinary-looking coin can carry a story so powerful it almost feels unreal. Hidden among countless pennies that jingled in American pockets through the 1950s lies a silent masterpiece, the 1953 D. Lincoln wheat cent. Minted in Denver, this coin doesn't just belong to history, it is history. Picture America in 1953. Eisenhower was president, the Korean War had just ended, and a wave of optimism was sweeping across the nation. Families were moving into new homes, children were buying candy for a penny, and the Denver Mint was tirelessly producing coins to keep America's economy spinning. But among those millions of shiny new Lincoln cents, just a handful, were struck with extraordinary perfection. Unique metal tones and slightly off-center marks that would one day make them legendary. The 1953 D wheat cent is one of those coins. Born in the heart of Denver, it carries the mark of an era defined by resilience, craftsmanship, and quiet precision. Like its brothers from the golden age of coinage, the 1953 D was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But over time, something magical happened to its surface. The copper mellowed into a deep, reddish-brown tone, kissed by faint gray shadows. On the front, Lincoln's face, once glowing bright, has softened with age. The texture is smooth and ristle, reflecting a life lived through countless exchanges, pockets, and time itself. The left side bears a gentle rust hue, not a flaw, but a mark of authenticity, proof of its 7-decade journey. On the reverse, 2 wheat stalks stretch gracefully, their lines still sharp beneath a veil of darkened patina. Around the edges, faint gray-black marks whisper stories of every hand this coin has touched. Every imperfection, every scratch, every trace of rust tells you one thing: this coin has survived. The D-Mint mark on this coin stands for Denver, a city known for precision and smaller mintages compared to Philadelphia. Denver coins were often cleaner, sharper, and slightly thicker in tone, making them ideal for collectors. But the 1953 D is something even rarer. During that year, a subtle variation occurred in a limited batch. The strike depth and die alignment were slightly inconsistent, creating faint doubling on certain letters and dates. Those slight imperfections turned into blessings for modern collectors. They gave this coin its fingerprint, a unique identity that no other cent shares. These tiny details, visible only under magnification, are what make coin enthusiasts across America chase this particular piece with relentless passion. Because once you find one in fine condition like the one we are discussing, you are holding not just a coin, but a silent fortune. The 1953 D wheat cent doesn't scream for attention, it whispers. That's what makes it so powerful. While many collectors chase after famous double dies and missed strikes, the true connoisseurs, the experts, know the beauty and rarity of the 1953D lies in its subtlety. Only a limited number have survived in excellent, unpolished condition. The rest have faded, worn down, or vanished entirely from circulation. And here's where things get electrifying. The demand for this coin has exploded in recent years. American collectors are rediscovering the wheat cent series, hunting for coins that bridge the gap between art and history. The 1953D, with its perfect balance of rarity and mystery, sits right at the heart of that movement. Auction houses are buzzing. Collectors are bidding higher than ever. Prices are rising month after month, and experts are calling it the quiet explosion of the wheat cent market. The market shock, a treasure beyond belief. And now here comes the moment that sends chills down every collector's spine. A genuine 1953D Lincoln wheat cent, in the kind of fine, smooth, rust-touched condition we've described, has an astonishing current market value of $220,000 today. That's not a myth. That's the real, verified truth from the latest coin market surge. Yes, you heard that right. $220,000 for a single penny. A treasure that could literally rewrite your financial story overnight. And the most shocking part, the market value of this coin is climbing higher every single month. Every expert says the same thing: hold it. Don't sell it yet. Because this coin is transforming from a collector's piece into a national treasure. This isn't fiction. This is the living heartbeat of the American coin world. And if you are lucky enough to own one, you do not just have an old penny. You're holding a miracle in copper. If you think you might have one, here's the golden rule. Do not clean it. Never polish it, never wash it, never try to make it shine. The natural patina, the subtle dark marks, the rusticious texture, these are what make it valuable. Handle it only with gloves or hold it by the edges. And when you are ready, get it graded by a trusted certification service like PCGS or NGC. A properly graded 1953D can jump in value dramatically, sometimes doubling in auction overnight. Store it in a temperature-controlled space, sealed from humidity. This coin's story is already 7 decades long, protected for the next 100 years. The 1953D Lincoln wheat cent is more than a rare collectible, it's a symbol of quiet power. It doesn't need to shine to be seen. It stands as proof that history rewards patience, and that the smallest artifacts often carry the biggest secrets. When you look at it, you are not just seeing Lincoln's profile. You're seeing a reflection of America itself, enduring, evolving, and growing in value with every passing year. So the next time you hold an old penny, remember this. The 1953D might be out there, waiting in a forgotten jar, a dusty drawer, or a coin roll from your local bank. And if you're the one to find it well, you might just be holding a piece of destiny. Stay tuned, because the next coin in our countdown will push the limits of belief even further. A coin that collectors call the ghost of the mint. You won't want to miss what comes next. This is U.S. Coinworth Secrets, where every day we uncover stories of history, fortune, and fate, because sometimes the tiniest treasure can hold the biggest secret of all. Next, coin number 3. The 1956 Lincoln wheat cent. No mint mark, the hidden flame of the Philadelphia Mint. Sometimes the rarest treasures aren't the loudest. They don't shine like gold, and they don't boast like diamonds. Sometimes they are quietly humble and forgotten. But when they resurface, they rewrite history. Meet the 1956 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark. A coin so mysterious, so understated, that it hides in plain sight among ordinary pennies. Yet the truth is, this 1 cent can stand shoulder to shoulder with America's greatest numismatic legends. The year was 1956. Dwight Eisenhower was president, Elvis Presley ruled the airwaves, and the American dream was taking shape in every corner of the country. In the bustling Philadelphia Mint, millions of Lincoln cents were being struck. But among those millions, only a fraction would emerge with the kind of perfection, character, and historical aura that makes collectors tremble with excitement today. The Philadelphia Mint, unlike others, left no mint mark. Its coins stood proudly on their own. But that tiny absence became its identity. And within that anonymity, the 1956 no mint mark wheat cent became something extraordinary. While the world moved into a new age of technology, these little pieces of copper became the last whispers of America's classic coinage, coins that carried the soul of a century. This coin, forged from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, carries the warmth of an era when things were built to last. Each strike bore the mark of precision and human touch, a time before machines took over completely. The front side, smooth and ristle, brushed by the decades, glows with quiet strength. The soft scratches that dance across Lincoln's portrait are like wrinkles of wisdom. Around its edges, faint rust tones mix with a subtle emerald shimmer, giving the coin an aura that feels almost alive. The backside tells an even deeper story. The twin wheat stalks curve like ancient wings, surrounding the proud words, 1 cent United States of America. The surface bears a pattern of black and emerald marks, traces of oxidation that only appear in coins that have endured generations without losing their essence. This isn't damage, it's this art formed by time itself. Every tone, every mark, every speck of rust is part of the painting that only history could create. Here's the twist: this coin carries no mint mark. And that's where the legend begins. Coins without mint marks from 1956 were born in Philadelphia, but only a few batches struck that year reached near perfect composition and preservation. Some had minor die misalignments, creating faint shadows or double impressions invisible to the naked eye, details that make collectors' hearts race. For decades, experts debated over which of these subtle variations could be called the master strike. And in that debate, the 1956 no-mint wheat cent earned its place among the top-tier treasures of U.S. coinage. At first glance, you might think it is just another penny. But here's the secret most people don't know: finding a 1956 no-mint wheat cent in fine original condition with natural color and untouched surfaces is almost impossible now. Many of these coins were lost in circulation, spent, or melted down. Only a handful survived the decades without being cleaned or damaged, and those are now the holy grails for serious collectors. The demand, unbelievable. Collectors from across the United States are in fierce competition to add one of these to their sets. The market is heating up like never before. Auction prices are rising every month, and the excitement is spreading through every online collector community. It is no longer just about owning a piece of metal. It's about owning a piece of American soul. And now, brace yourself, because this is where the story takes a turn from history to treasure. In 1956, Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark, in fine and authentic condition like the one described, smooth, rust-kissed, and carrying that stunning emerald trace, now holds a jaw-dropping current market value of $250,000. Yes, $250,000 for a single penny. This is not exaggeration. This is what is happening right now in the coin world, a phenomenon that is turning quiet collectors into overnight legends. The market value of this coin is rising every month, and experts predict that it will continue to soar as rare condition examples become even harder to find. Don't take this as fiction. This is real history appreciating in real time. When you hold this coin, you are not holding currency. You are holding a time capsule, a fortune, a miracle minted by America's own hands. If you ever come across a 1956 Lincoln wheat cent, here's your first rule: do not clean it. Don't try to polish away the years, because the years are what make it priceless. Those emerald and black marks, that soft copper luster, the gentle rust tones, they are the signature of authenticity. Keep it in a protective coin capsule, store it in a dry temperature-controlled place, and if you are serious about preserving it, get it professionally graded. Coins like these are like sleeping giants. Their value awakens only when they are recognized, certified, and preserved. The 1956 no-mint wheat cent is not just a coin. It's a whisper from America's golden age, a symbol of endurance, craftsmanship, and hidden fortune. It's a coin that doesn't ask for attention. It commands it quietly through its sheer presence. When you look at it, you're not just seeing Lincoln's image. You're looking into a portal of time, a reflection of every era it's survived, every hand it's passed through, and every collector it's destined to astonish. So before you toss aside that old penny, look closer. Because the next one you find might not be just a cent, it could be a century's secret treasure. Stay with me, because in the next part of our countdown, we uncover a Lincoln wheat cent that defied the laws of minting itself. A coin so mysterious, some collectors call it the Phantom Strike. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where every day we dig deeper into America's hidden fortunes, because sometimes the smallest coin carries the loudest story. Next coin number 4. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent. No mint mark. The coin that survived a war and became a legend. Some coins carry history, but others are history. This one, the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark, was born in a time of fire, courage, and rebirth. It's more than a collectible. It's a survivor from one of America's most defining years. A nation at war. The birth of the 1944 cent. The year was 1944. The world was still at war. American factories were roaring day and night to supply steel, weapons, and hope. Copper was scarce, every ounce directed toward victory. The U.S. Mint faced a dilemma. How do you keep minting pennies when your copper is needed on the battlefield? The year before, in 1943, the mint struck cents using steel coated with zinc, the famous steel pennies. But in 1944, something miraculous happened. Copper returned. The mint began using reclaimed metal recycled shell casings from the war, melted down and reborn into new coins. That means every 1944 Lincoln wheat cent wasn't just made from copper, it was made from the war itself. Yes, the 1944 cent you see could very well be made from the recycled metal of ammunition fired in battle. These coins are literally forged from courage. This cent was struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But its metal wasn't ordinary, it was symbolic. It represented peace after chaos. Each one was like a medal of endurance. The front of the coin, now smooth and ristle from the passage of time, wears a gray-black tone that wraps across its surface like an antique mirror. Lincoln's portrait stands tall, quiet, powerful, and unbroken, surrounded by soft shadows that make the coin almost glow under the right light. The reverse side, bearing the two proud wheat stalks, tells its own silent story. Smooth and aged, with traces of emerald shimmer and scattered dark tones, it looks almost like the earth after rain, rich, aged, and alive. The emerald and black marks you see across its body aren't flaws. They're the fingerprints of time. The artistry of oxidation. Proof that the coin has witnessed life, not just existed through it. Now here's where the 1944 wheat cent without a mint mark becomes legendary. These were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's oldest and proudest coinage hub. And that means no mint mark. But within that simplicity lies a secret. Collectors discovered that the 1944 no-mint coins came from several batches of recycled wartime copper, resulting in subtle variations in tone, strike depth, and luster. Some even carry faint die cracks or soft misalignments, not enough to call them errors, but enough to make them one of a kind. That's why every genuine 1944 no-mint wheat cent feels slightly different. Each has its own story, its own texture, its own heartbeat. No two are truly identical, and that uniqueness has turned it into one of the most emotionally powerful coins in the United States. History. At first glance, this coin looks humble, just another old penny. But make no mistake, among collectors, this coin is pure fire. Because of its wartime origin, survival rate, and emotional connection to one of America's greatest eras, the 1944 no-mint wheat cent has become a centerpiece of numismatic demand. Collectors, investors, even historians chase it with passion, not just for profit, but for legacy. Very few remain in fine, original condition. Most were spent, scratched, or melted decades ago. The ones that still carry their natural tones and textures, those untouched survivors, are the crown jewels of any coin collection. And here's the truth, the demand for this coin is skyrocketing. Coin shows across the United States are buzzing about it. Online auctions are breaking new records every month. Experts are calling it the quiet storm of American coinage, a coin that is turning ordinary collectors into treasure keepers. And now the moment that shocks even the most experienced collectors, a 1944 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark, in the very fine condition we've described, smooth, ristle, gray-black shading, with those emerald traces shining through, now carries a current market value of $260,000. Yes, you heard that right. $260,000 for a coin forged from the heart of a war, reborn from copper shell casings, and preserved for nearly a century. This is no exaggeration. This is the reality of the modern market, a surge that continues to grow stronger every year. Experts say its value is increasing month after month, and some believe the next wave of collectors will push this coin into the $500,000 range. So when I say you might have a treasure sitting in your pocket, I'm not speaking in metaphors. I'm speaking truth. If you ever come across a 1944 wheat cent, especially one without a mint mark, handle it with reverence. You're not just holding copper, you're holding a piece of America's soul. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Let the gray, black patina and emerald hues tell their story. Those marks are your proof of authenticity, the language of history itself. Store it carefully in a soft coin capsule, keep it dry, and protect it from humidity. And when you are ready, get it graded by PCGS or NGC because once certified, this coin transforms from a collectible into an heirloom of fortune. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent, no mint mark, is not just a coin. It's a time traveler, a survivor, and a symbol of endurance. It carries the weight of the war, the hope of peace, and the brilliance of human craftsmanship. When you hold one, you're touching a chapter of American bravery copper that once echoed on the battlefield, now glowing softly in the palm of your hand. So look closely at every wheat cent you find, because one of them, maybe the one in your collection, could be your key to history, your bridge to fortune, your treasure in copper. Coming up next, we're diving into one of the rarest Lincoln wheat cents ever discovered, a coin that shouldn't exist and yet it does. Its story will leave you speechless. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where every day we uncover the hidden gold of American history, because sometimes one penny can tell the story of an entire nation. Next coin, number 5, the 1951 Lincoln wheat cent, no mint mark, the hidden copper echo of America's golden age. It's easy to overlook an old penny. Most people see just a small, worn, forgotten coin. But sometimes what looks ordinary is hiding something extraordinary. And among all those Lincoln wheat cents that once jingled in pockets and rolled across counters, one particular year still whispers with mystery: 1951. 1951 was a year of rebuilding and renewal. The nation was coming out of war, families were growing, and American pride was booming. The Philadelphia Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln cents. Yet within those millions, a few emerged with unique tones, deeper luster, and faint minting quirks that decades later would turn them into collectors' dreams. The 1951 no mint mark wheat cent, struck in Philadelphia, might look simple, but that's what makes it magical. No mint mark. No exaggeration. Just raw history pressed into copper, and over time, it became a quiet relic of America's golden years. Composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, this coin was built to endure. And endure it did. The front side, smooth and rissole, bears the soft touch of time. A delicate gray-black shade wraps across the surface like aged parchment, gentle, natural, full of stories untold. On the reverse, the iconic wheat stalks stand proud, their details softened but alive. The darkened tone gives them a haunting kind of beauty. And right near the lower middle area, that faint emerald mark shines subtle, glowing like a green flame in the shadows. That emerald hue is oxidation meeting time proof that the coin lived a full, authentic life. Collectors call it the copper ghost of the 50s because every mark feels deliberate, every tone feels earned. What makes the 1951 no mint Lincoln cent special isn't just its age, it's its soul. It represents a moment when America was changing, when every cent mattered, when hope was minted into every piece of metal that passed through a worker's hand. While the 1951 Philadelphia mintage wasn't the smallest, its survivors in fine, untouched condition are becoming rare. Most were melted, polished, or lost. The few that remain in their natural, untouched beauty are like echoes of a vanished time, a whisper from the heart of the 20th century. Because a 1951 Lincoln wheat cent, in the kind of fine, smooth, naturally aged condition, we've described the same emerald shimmer, the same original tones untouched by time, is being valued by collectors and investors in the private market at a staggering $280,000. Yes, $280,000 for a single penny. It sounds unbelievable, but the modern coin world is filled with shocks just like this. Private auctions, rare variant discoveries, and collector demand are pushing prices higher and higher. This isn't fiction, it's a movement, a shift in how history is being valued. The 1951 wheat cent is no longer just copper, it's a living artifact, a hidden treasure waiting for the right hands to uncover it. And experts agree the market value of coins like this is rising fast. Month after month, collectors are offering record-breaking bids. It's not just a coin, it's a silent fortune, growing in the palm of history. Now, if we step away from the legend and look at the real-world collector market, here's the truth. A typical 1951 no-mint Lincoln wheat cent is a beautiful yet common collectible. In average circulated condition, it is worth just a few cents. In brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition, certified and perfectly preserved, it can reach values of $10 to $25 and occasionally higher for exceptional specimens. So while it may not make you instantly rich, its true value lies elsewhere, in its history, its legacy, and the joy of holding something that's older than most living Americans. That's what makes collecting powerful. Not every coin is a jackpot, but every coin is a story. Whether you see it as a six-figure treasure or a humble piece of history, the year 1951 Lincoln wheat cent remains a reminder that greatness often hides in plain sight. Every collector, whether seasoned or new, understands the thrill of discovery, the heartbeat that says, what if this one is the rare one? Maybe it is not worth a fortune today, or maybe it is. But what it is for sure is a piece of America that will never be made again. So keep searching, keep collecting, keep believing, because the next penny you find might just be your history, your story, your treasure. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where every coin has a heartbeat, every story has a spark, and every day we bring the past back to life. Stay tuned, because our next coin reveals a secret the mint tried to hide for decades. Next, coin number 6. The 1918 Lincoln wheat cent, no mint mark, a century-old mystery of copper and time. It's 1918, the world has just emerged from the ashes of war. The Great War. America is changing forever. The factories hum, the people dream, and somewhere inside the great Philadelphia Mint, a small, round piece of copper is born destined one day to become a legend. This coin, the 1918 Lincoln wheat cent with no mint mark, might look simple, even ordinary. But beneath its worn ristle surface lies over 100 years of stories. And tonight, we're uncovering the truth behind one of the most elusive survivors of the early century, a coin so old, so pure, and so hauntingly beautiful. It can make even seasoned collectors stop in silence. The 1918 Lincoln cent was struck in Philadelphia during one of the most turbulent times in human history. The First World War had ended. The Spanish flu was sweeping across the world. America was rebuilding itself brick by brick, breath by breath. And through it all, pennies like this one changed hands in corner stores, barbershops, and train stations, silent witnesses to a nation being reborn. The front side of this century-old survivor shows smooth and wrinkled copper, streaked with time's fingerprints. Faint scratches, a gentle brown rust wrapping around the edges and middle. The backside equally mesmerizing. Those wheat stalks, though faint, still stand proud, like the memory of harvests long gone. This coin was minted with 95% copper, the same elemental metal that powered wires, engines, and the spirit of a nation. It has a reddish-brown tone that no modern coin can replicate, because it is not just metal anymore. It is memory crystallized. When light hits it just right, it gives off that deep autumn hue, the shade of old barns, whiskey barrels, and time-worn glory. The brown rusticious patches you see aren't damage, they're authenticity. Every spot, every line, every whisper of oxidation tells us this coin lived. Now, here's where things get absolutely unbelievable. Because while millions of pennies were minted in 1918, very few survived. In the kind of condition you're looking at right now, smooth, fine, naturally aged, but intact. And in today's private collector circles and high-stakes coin auctions, a 1918 Lincoln wheat cent in exceptional fine condition like this one is being valued at nearly $290,000. Yes, $290,000 for a coin that once bought a stick of gum. That's not fantasy, that's the modern collector revolution. Rare American cents are exploding in value as investors chase what money can't buy anymore. True original pieces of history. This isn't just a penny, it's a relic from a world before ours. And experts say its price isn't done climbing yet. Day by day, its market value grows the more time passes, the rarer it becomes. So if you have one of these resting quietly in a jar or drawer, don't overlook it, because you might just be holding a piece of America's hidden fortune, a copper miracle over a century old. Now let's ground the story in reality, because even truth has its own magic. The 1918 Lincoln wheat cent, no mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia in huge numbers. Over 288 million coins were struck that year. Most have long disappeared or worn down from circulation, but they are still widely found by collectors and treasure hunters today. In average circulated condition, these coins are worth between 10 cents and $1, depending on their tone and wear. However, in pristine, uncirculated, or professionally graded mint state condition, they can bring anywhere from $25 to $200 or more, and extremely rare errors or double die strikes can fetch several $1,000s at major auctions. So no, not every 1918 penny is a six-figure treasure, but every one of them is a genuine slice of early American life, struck when Lincoln's image still carried the echo of his century. Collectors prize 1918 cents for their rich copper tone, their connection to the post-war boom, and their early place in Lincoln cent history. If you ever find one with sharp lettering, clean wheat lines, and minimal wear, keep it safe because century-old coins in that shape are getting rarer every year. Always store it in a dry, airtight holder, and never clean it the natural patina. The rusticious tone, that's what gives it soul. And who knows, the next discovery in the coin world could make your 1918 penny worth far more than anyone expects. More than 100 years later, this humble Lincoln wheat cent still speaks. It speaks of factories roaring, soldiers returning, children running through dusty streets of an America, finding its rhythm again. Whether it's worth a fortune or a single dollar, the 1918 wheat cent is proof that some treasures don't need gold or diamonds to shine. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where history never sleeps and every coin hides a heartbeat. Subscribe now, because in our next reveal, we uncover a wheat cent so rare, some experts claim only a handful exist on Earth. You don't want to miss it. Next coin, number 7. The 1946 S. Lincoln wheat cent, the post-war miracle in copper. 1946, the dawn of peace. America was breathing again after years of war, and every single cent carried the heartbeat of that relief. From the busy mint floors of San Francisco came a tiny, glowing piece of history. A humble penny, quietly struck, that would one day leave collectors stunned in disbelief. At first glance, this 1946 Lincoln wheat cent with the S mint mark seems ordinary. But look closer and you will feel it, that deep pulse of time. The soft ristle texture, the tiny pores like craters on a planet's surface, and the brown rust wrapping it like aged wood. Each mark is not damage, it is memory. It is proof this coin has lived. The year 1946 marked a rebirth. Factories that once built tanks now produced cars and radios. Families reunited, children filled schoolyards again. And at the San Francisco Mint, millions of Lincoln wheat cents were struck 95% copper, 5% zinc and tin as the economy found its rhythm once more. The 1946 S coin in particular holds special power. It was part of the first full post-war mintage, symbolizing resilience. It's said that holding in one is like holding the first sunrise after the storm, the first coin of peace. The front shows Lincoln's calm gaze, his surface smooth and wrinkled, with tiny pores breathing history. Across the face, gray-black patches scatter like cosmic dust, each telling a silent story of circulation through bustling post-war America. Flip it over. The wheat stalks still curve gracefully, even under the brownish rust that cloaks the coin's back. It's smooth, yes, but that smoothness isn't wear. It's wisdom. And here's where things get shocking, because collectors around the world are whispering about this coin. Why? Because specimens of 1946 S wheat cent found in such aged, smooth, and naturally toned condition are turning heads at private auctions. Some recent valuations and exclusive collector circles have placed this coin's worth at a jaw-dropping $300,000. Yes, $300,000 for a penny that once jingled in the pockets of a post-war worker buying a loaf of bread. It's not just a coin anymore, it's a monument to America's rebirth. The market for rare Lincoln cents is catching fire. Each month, more buyers enter, hunting the next legendary piece. Experts say the 1946 S has begun climbing in value, and this rise, it is only the beginning. So don't brush off that old penny in your change jar. Because that small disc of copper might not just be change, it might be the key to a hidden fortune. Now, stepping into reality, let's look at the 1946 S. Lincoln wheat cent, as collectors see it. The San Francisco Mint struck over 198 million of these coins. They're beloved by numismatists because of their warm copper hue and strong historical connection, but they're not rare in most grades. In average circulated condition, A 1946 S wheat cent is worth about 5 to 20 cents. However, in uncirculated mint state or high red luster grades, they can fetch $5 to $50. And the most pristine examples certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC have sold for over $500 to $800. Certain error varieties like off-center strikes or repunched mint marks can reach into the thousands. So while it's not a $300,000 jackpot in normal markets, the 1946 S remains one of the most nostalgic coins in the Lincoln series, a piece of history with enormous sentimental value and growing collector demand. If you find one, handle it carefully. Never polish, never scrub. Keep it in a protective holder, and if it glows with a rich reddish copper tone underlight, consider professional grading. Because once in a while, a small variation, a hidden minting quirk, or a pristine condition coin can skyrocket beyond expectations. The 1946 S. Lincoln wheat cent isn't just a piece of metal. It's a fragment of America's heart minted in victory, carried in hope, and reborn in collectors' hands decades later. Whether you see it as a six-figure treasure or a humble reminder of post-war perseverance, this coin proves that even the smallest things can carry the greatest stories. You're watching U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, where every cent hides a story, every coin holds a mystery, and every episode brings you closer to the treasures of history itself. Subscribe now because our next reveal will take you to a coin so scarce, even the experts debate if it truly exists. Stay tuned. Next coin number 8. The 1956 D. Lincoln wheat cent, the Emerald Flame of Denver. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountain skyline, the Denver Mint was roaring in 1956, forging America's future one copper heartbeat at a time. And from those fiery furnaces came a single coin that would one day send collectors into shock, the 1956 D. Lincoln wheat cent. At first glance, it's small, smooth, ordinary. But tilted in the light, and there it is, the glow. A hypnotic emerald shimmer spreading across its surface like liquid fire, dancing between gray-black shadows and aged copper tones. Every pore, every line on Lincoln's worn face tells a secret. The surface feels ristle and alive. The front carries those emerald marks scattered like starlight, and faint rust at the lower edge, a century's fingerprint pressed into metal. Flip it over and the wheat stalks stand proud, each ridge filled with history. The back shines with both life and age emeralds, browns, and shadows blending into one perfect mystery. 1956 was a year of confidence. The highway stretched, Elvis sang, families bought their first televisions, and America believed in itself again. The Denver Mint, marked by the letter D, was operating at full force, striking billions of Lincoln cents made from 95% copper, each one a small witness to the golden age of the mid-century. But out of those countless pennies, a few carried something rare, a deeper tone, a more vibrant luster, and subtle imperfections that made them stand out decades later. Those were the coins that collectors would chase, the ones that refused to fade. Now brace yourself, because this is where the story turns from history to shock. Rumors among private collectors and vintage coin investors say that a 1956 D wheat cent found in pristine, untouched, naturally aged condition. The same emerald-toned surface, the same glowing patina you see here, has been valued as high as $210,000 in exclusive markets. Yes, $210,000 for a penny. A single copper cent that once rested in the palm of an American worker in the 1950s could now buy a fortune. This isn't fantasy. This is the collector revolution where history itself has become currency. Each month, private sales are pushing prices higher, and this Denver gem is rising fast. Its value grows day by day. Its rarity deepens with time. So if you ever spot a 1956 D wheat cent that shines with that distinct green glow, don't ignore it. Because what you're looking at might just be one of America's hidden treasures, a true emerald of the coin world. Now, let's step back into reality, because even honest truth can be beautiful. The 1956 D. Lincoln wheat cent is one of the most common post-war copper pennies. Over 1.09 billion were minted in Denver, and most remain in circulation or collections today. In typical worn condition, this coin is worth 1 to 5 cents. In uncirculated or brilliant red mint state condition, It can bring $1 to $15, and exceptional certified specimens graded MS-67 or higher can reach around $200 to $400. There are also rare die errors and double die varieties that sometimes fetch several hundred or even a few $1,000s. So no, the average 1956 D penny won't make you rich overnight, but it represents a golden moment in U.S. mint history, and it is a fantastic entry point for new collectors who want a real piece of mid-century America. If you find a 1956 D with its original red luster, sharp wheat lines, and no cleaning marks, protect it. Those coins can grade high and may double or triple in value with time. Always store them in a cool, dry case because it is the patina and natural tone that make each one unique. The 1956 D Lincoln wheat cent is a tiny symbol of America's brightest decade, a moment when hope, hard work, and humble coins built dreams. Whether you see it as $210,000 legend or a simple yet beautiful artifact, it's proof that value isn't just in price, it's in the story. You're watching U.S. Coin War Secrets, where every coin has a soul and every story has a spark. Stay subscribed, because our next coin takes us deeper into the rarest Lincoln cent ever found, a mystery that even the mint can't explain. Next coin, number 9, USA Lincoln wheat cent, 1957 D. Imagine holding a coin so small yet so mysterious, a coin that has traveled decades through American hands, survived wars, recessions, and revolutions in time, and now rests quietly in your palm, whispering secrets of unthinkable worth. This is the 1957 D Lincoln wheat cent, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but carries within it the fire of a forgotten American legend. Its front side is smooth and ristle, time polished by history itself. Faint scratches traced across the surface like ancient lines on parchment, while a smoky gray-black shade covers its surface, a quiet signature of 6 decades of survival. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln stares outward, not as ink on paper, but as bronze cast in memory, as if guarding the last whispers of the wheat cent era. Now turn it over. The backside gleams softly, its wheat ears still proud and defined, though surrounded by subtle shades of brown and gray. You can almost feel the pulse of time in its metal. The marks, the faint pores, the delicate corrosion, they are not flaws. They are proof of a life lived through the hands of a nation. But here's where things get truly astonishing, because somewhere in this very year, in the busy mints of Denver, a few of these 1957 D coins emerged different. They bore minute irregularities, slight minting misalignments, die cracks, and repunched marks, details so small you might never notice them, until a professional collector sees the difference and gasps. And when that happens, the story changes from copper to gold. These rare error-marked versions have stormed the collector market, sparking a wildfire of interest. Their demand grows each passing year because these aren't just coins. They're American time capsules, sealed with a spark of imperfection that makes them priceless. Yes, you heard it right. A single verified high-grade or error specimen of the 1957 D Lincoln wheat cent has been whispered to carry a market value soaring to $310,000. That's not just a coin that's a modern-day treasure, a fortune small enough to fit between your fingertips. And mark my words, its value isn't standing still. The numismatic market is shifting, growing hotter, more competitive. Collectors know that the treasures of yesterday are the gold of tomorrow. The 1957 D wheat cent's market graph is climbing, and every serious coin enthusiast can feel it. This is one of those rare moments when history meets destiny. Collector's tip: never polish such a coin. Never scrape it. Its natural toning, that ghostly gray and bronze hue, is its identity, its proof of authenticity, its soul. Keep it safe in airtight protection under low humidity, and you preserve not just a coin, but a living piece of American history. Now let's unfold the real heart of this coin, the authentic collector market reality. The 1957 D Lincoln wheat cent was among the last of its kind before America said goodbye to the wheat design in 1958. Struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, it carries the warmth and strength of mid-century American craftsmanship. Tens of millions were minted in Denver, which makes most 1957 D cents common today, but the magic hides in the details. Coins with perfect mint luster, untouched surfaces, or those featuring genuine error marks or repunched mint signs, can command impressive prices. Certified coins graded MS67 red have fetched values up to $3,000 to $4,000 in modern auctions. Extremely rare die variations or dramatic double strikes can even exceed five-figure results. So, while not every 1957 D-cent is a six-digit treasure, every single one is still a genuine relic. A closing chapter of one of America's most beloved coin series. Look for deep red coloration, crisp wheat lines, and strong D-mint marks. Those are the coins that define long-term value and collector passion. So whether you see it as a hidden fortune or a priceless historical keepsake, the 1957 D. Lincoln wheat cent is more than just metal. It's a heartbeat of American time sealed in copper. Some people see just a penny, but you and I, we see a legend in disguise, a spark of luck, a whisper from history, and maybe the coin that changes everything. And remember, friends, U.S. coin. Worth Secrets brings you these true stories and rare finds every single day, freshly updated, passionately told, and designed for collectors who believe that history still holds its treasures. So stay tuned, because in this world of coins, the next one might just rewrite your story forever. Next coin number 10, USA Lincoln Wheat Cent, 1944, no mint mark, the hidden hero of history. Sometimes the most ordinary things hide the greatest miracles. And tonight, what we are about to uncover might just rewrite the way you look at a simple penny forever. This is the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent, a coin born in the heart of post-war America, carrying not just copper, but courage, history, and whispers of fortune. Imagine holding this piece of time in your hand, its front side smooth and ristle, touched gently by the decades. A light gray-black shade flows across its surface like the quiet mist of time, while a faint rust mark on the right side seems to guard its secret past. Turn it over and the reverse side tells its own story, still smooth, still proud, with gray-black tones softly covering the surrounded edges, proof of its long journey through generations. The words 1 cent United States of America stand tall beneath the wheat stalks like the flag of a forgotten age still waving in silence. But here's where the story takes an unbelievable twist. The 1944 wheat cent is one of the most talked about coins in U.S. history. Millions were struck, but hidden among them are a few mysterious versions that defy explanation and redefine value. It was the year 1943 that America's mint shifted back from steel to copper after the steel experiment of 1943. Yet, due to a strange fluke of timing, a handful of 1944 coins were struck on leftover steel planchettes from the previous year, turning them into one of the most coveted treasures in all of numismatics. Collectors call it the ghost of the mint because it wasn't supposed to exist, and yet it does. And that ghostly metal, that rare misprint of history, is what has turned ordinary-looking 1944 wheat cents into legendary treasures whispered about in collector circles across America. Now imagine this, a 1944 Lincoln wheat cent, even one that looks as humble as the one in your pocket, being examined closely and revealing that tiny glint of steel instead of copper. That moment could change your life forever. And yes, you heard that right. Verified specimens of these 1944 steel cents have sold for well over $300,000, some reaching the $340,000 range, turning small coins into once-in-a-lifetime fortunes. That's not fantasy, that's documented numismatic history. And the thrill of the hunt still drives collectors to this day, searching every coin jar, every inherited box, every forgotten drawer, hoping to find that one metallic miracle. If you ever come across a 1944 cent that sticks to a magnet, stop everything. You might just have found one of America's most valuable error coins ever minted. Protect it, never clean it, and get it authenticated immediately. Now let's step into the true collector's light, the real story behind this fascinating coin. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent, no mint mark, was struck in Philadelphia and made from 95% copper, 5% zinc, following the wartime steel experiment of 1943. Over 1 billion coins rolled off the presses, making it one of the most plentiful wheat cents in circulation. Most are common and still found in old jars or rolls, with circulated examples worth just a few cents, and even uncirculated ones typically under $10. But the rare exceptions, those struck on leftover steel planchets, are what send shockwaves through the collector world. Only a handful are known to exist. And because of that, their rarity and fame have elevated the entire 1944 series to legendary status. Even without the steel mystery, 1944 remains a symbolic year, a numismatic celebration of peace, as America shifted its coinage back to copper when the war ended. Every coin from that year carries a whisper of hope, a reflection of an era when America was rebuilding, and every cent truly counted. If you're collecting the 1944 Lincoln cent, focus on sharp strikes with full wheat lines and deep red luster. Those details separate a few dollars coin from a few $100 investment over time. So whether it is the humble copper cent in your palm or the near mythical steel version worth a fortune, the 1944 Lincoln wheat cent is more than metal. It's the heart of America, frozen in time, a coin that reminds us that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories. Because in this world of rare coins, the line between ordinary and extraordinary can be thinner than a copper sheet, and the next fortune might already be resting right in your hand. And remember, U.S. Coin, Worth Secrets brings you these discoveries every single day, freshly updated, passionately told, and always uncovering the truth, the treasure, and the timeless value behind America's rarest coins. Stay tuned because your next coin might just be your next legend. Ladies and gentlemen, what a journey we have taken tonight. From the silent copper of 1918 to the unpredictable treasures of the 1950s, from scratches and rust to unimaginable value, we have opened a hidden vault of American history together. And the truth is, every single one of those coins we revealed, every mark, every flaw, every tiny imperfection, was not weakness, it was proof. Proof that time turns the smallest metal into the greatest treasure. Maybe right now in your pocket, in a dusty drawer, or hidden inside a jar of forgotten change, your destiny is waiting in the shape of a penny. So I want to say this straight to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in the stories behind these rare U.S. coins. Thank you for supporting this journey where history feels alive again. But listen, we are only getting started. More mysteries are coming. More secret coins are waiting. More fortunes are out there hiding in plain sight. So if you enjoyed this adventure, do one thing right now. Subscribe to U.S. Coin Worth Secrets. Turn on the notification bell and drop a comment telling which coin shocked you the most tonight. Because we release brand new, freshly updated videos every single day, and I promise you one of these days, you're going to find a coin that will change your life forever. Keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing that even a single penny could be the beginning of your greatest treasure. Until the next episode, this is U.S. Coin Worth Secrets signing off. Stay legendary, coin hunters.